Google and Disney. Disney with lawsuits, Google with buyout offers. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's talk about it.
Google is now offering buyouts to employees across several divisions, but including its core search and advertising units. Seems to be just the latest sign that tech is reshaping its workforce around AI. Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check. Deirdre.
Hey, Kelly. So it's soft layoffs like buyouts and performance nudges, but that's just part of the story. Big tech workforces, they are being rebuilt from the inside out to really reorient around AI. Now, the telling part of Google's latest buyouts is that it's reaching into its search and ad teams, still that core profit engine, suggesting that legacy roles are being phased out, may be phased out, to make room for different skills and different priorities. Now, that does mean exits, but also strategic hires and high-level reorganizations, like Alexander Wang to Meta to lead superintelligence, and Semaphore just reporting in the last hour or so, Google crowning a new chief architect reporting directly to CEO Sundar Pichai. Now, his job, it's a promotion. He was already in Google, but it's now to translate raw model performance into real products. And that could be seen as a signal that AI is the new operating system for the company. Now, Google's memo about the buyouts makes the subtext pretty clear. In it, which our Jen Elias got a hold of, a Google executive wrote to employees, if you don't feel aligned, this is your exit path. So in other words, stay if you're on board with the strategy, or leave quietly if you're not. Now, next hour, Kelly, I'm sitting down with Ali Ghodsi, CEO of Databricks, at their AI summit in San Francisco. He is competing with the likes of Google and OpenAI and others for talent. The talent war is heating up, so I'll ask him about how he's thinking about his own workforce in this new era. It is a great lineup here, by the way. Just heard from Anthropic's Dario Amodei, and Jamie Dimon, I can see, is on stage with Ali right now.
But would you say, Deirdre, we can definitively draw the conclusion that this is AI related? That's what's so hard with all of these headlines, right? We had the years of efficiency that were...
Everything is AI related. Everything is going to be AI related. AI will be integrated into our lives faster, more efficiently, and more effectively than any other technology that you've seen over the last 20 years. I remember all of the different phases. I remember the dot-com bubble bust. I remember the dot-com. I remember all of the phases that's happened over the internet. The creation and evolution of social media. AI will be more impactful and more involved in whatever it is that we have going on to the internet today. It is going to be more integrated than ever. A lot of it is going to be seamless. Some of it not so much so. Man, let me tell you something, bro. I know people that at work, the smartest people have already adopted it. They just haven't started speaking about it at work. Let me give y'all some practical advice. For you early AI adopters, and for those of you that's going to be joining the next live stream, between Father's Day and between me having to gatekeep information and try to figure out more effective ways to prevent certain information from seeping out to the general public. So shout out to all of the people that's a part of the Bag Chasers, the new Patreon members. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. For people that are early adopters for artificial intelligence as a part of their work-life balance, as far as what they're using and the tools that they need, like for example, I know somebody that uses AI effectively. They've used it to assist them to streamline. They've been getting more accolades, even a raise and stuff like that. And so in a lot of ways, they've been even tapped to join different projects and stuff, but they don't know. What they haven't revealed to their organization is that AI is something that has been assisting them for everything from project management to, I know it was some people that came into an environment out. I'm trying to be real vague because I don't want, certain information to get out. It was certain people that came into an environment to figure out how they can do things more efficiently. They gave a list of the things to do more efficiently. The person that is responsible for implementing those things and coming up with a plan in order to how they going to implement it, it was supposed to be 2 weeks to a month for them to go through all of the data and the data points and then be able to put that together. They did it in less than a day. They just haven't said anything. They just been chilling on their job, and then they're going to present the information in 2 to 3 weeks, right? And so AI has allowed for them to be a lot more efficient. It is a part of some people's workflow. If you've used it, right? And stop running your mouth. Stop running your mouth. You don't have to say everything. If you are becoming more efficient, if you're a superstar, if you got something going on or whatever, so on and so forth, then keep it to yourself and just become a superstar. Don't go over there, hey, boss, I've been using AI. And only say and do things, especially in corporate America, when it's conducive and when it benefits you. You don't always have to be the first person to say something. Be quiet, let it put some stuff together, and then win. And then win. Stop being so forthcoming with information to upper management and stuff about what you're doing. Just win. Just win. Be quiet. Shh. Everybody ain't got to know what you got going on. Everybody ain't got to know what you're using AI. But for people that are using it, they can't go without it now. That's how integrated it's going to become a part of your lives once you adopt it. Once you start using it, you can't go without it. I don't think there's been a day since I've upgraded to Google Ultra, and I can't wait to show y'all some of the stuff that I'm working on. I can't wait to show y'all. There has not been a day that I have not spent at least 1 to 2 hours building something, developing something, letting it assist me, all of that. The whole thing. Man, I know so much about so many different things now. It's just become a part of my work life. You know what I'm saying? It's just become a part of the things that I got going on.
Happening anyway.
Yeah.
Now you have AI. And so we all want to jump and say, Occam's razor, it's because of AI that they're doing that. And maybe that's the case, but do we know that for a fact?
It will make you feel like Batman, Matt.
I would say, for me, it feels like a fact because of all the people I'm talking to here and on the ground. It is the one thing that matters the most. And when you have to make way for these massive paychecks for these white paper AI scientists that are getting, up to $20 million over 4 years.
I'm not going to skip past that. What have I been saying to y'all? AI machine learning, AI machine learning, AI machine learning, AI machine learning. Listen to what she just said. They are getting rid of people so that they can create space to give the bag to people that are actually pertinent, useful, and successful when it comes to implementation and continuing to build these models inside of large companies in corporate America. Now, I'm going to give you the sauce. Anton, what's the sauce? I'm going to give you the sauce. I'm going to be nice today. One thing that I learned when I was in corporate America is that it does not have to come from Google, Meta, Tesla, Facebook, all of this stuff. You don't have to work for these large companies. The smart people are going to take what I'm going to teach them in the next Bag Chaser live stream, and they are going to implement it in legacy companies. What does that mean, Anton? That means you need to take the skill set and you don't have to compete with the large technological companies. You take your skill set and you learn how to sell yourself into a legacy company, a legacy business, a bank, an auto manufacturer, a supplier, anything, right? A legacy retailer, whatever. The jobs are not going to always come from the big bosses. Those are the big things, but the way that the recruitment works is that you can then leverage your skill set to then sell on, hey, this is what I'm familiar with and this is what they're implementing at the large companies, but this is how it is that I want to implement this in this place. That's the whole reason why I was able to build out a UX practice at one of the first banks that I worked for, is because I was an early adopter of technologies and embracing of these same technologies that I then sold on the idea that we can build out a practice and we can build out an entire agile team around these whole things. We can get rid of the contractors, we can build out an agile team, and then they're going to give you the bag. So if you start to take some of these implementations and these understandings and these things, and you are an early adopter, but you're also selling yourself as being an expert because you are one of the people that are using it, or you are one of the people that went to school for it or whatever, it'll start to translate into legacy systems because it's going to be a waterfall into other companies trying to keep up in order to stay relevant. Correct, Tech Coach Ralph. We're going to go over that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that on the Patreon Wednesday.
Matters the most, and when you have to make way for these massive paychecks for these white paper AI scientists that are getting, up to $20 million over 4 years, it seems obvious. It also seems obvious when you read through the transcripts on their earnings call. It really is the thing that is moving everything, especially within companies like Google and Microsoft and Meta and the startups. Maybe for some of the others that aren't as all in, it could be used as sort of a front, right, for layoffs. So that changes. But I think for the ones that are moving most aggressively on this, like Google, Microsoft, Meta, a few others, yes. Yeah. But, we'll see. We'll see if that sticks.
It will. Meanwhile, on Disney's front, Disney is starting to sue AI companies for copyright infringement. So be careful with this, guys. Be very, very careful.
Some breaking news on Disney and NBC Universal. Let's get to Julia Borston. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Carl. Disney and NBC Universal, which is CNBC's parent company, are filing a joint suit against AI company Midjourney, alleging copyright infringement and demanding a jury trial. The complaint, which was filed just now, includes images that Midjourney generated with characters including Lucasfilm's Darth Vader and from Universal Illumination's Minions.
One of the things that I've been learning, and again, I'm going to go over this. I got a whole live stream that I'm going to do. It's probably going to be longer than an hour, probably be more closer to an hour and a half. So if you're not a Patreon member, if you're not a bag chaser, then you definitely want to get in. One of the things that I've learned using different AI systems, whether it be Google's Ultra, Gemini, ChatGPT, so on and so forth, is that they are getting more effective at what you can and can't generate and how you have to describe it. And so prompt engineers is also going to be a relevant thing, I believe, in the future. But like, for example, you can't just say, hey, give me a picture of President Trump and that's the end of it. Now you got to get more creative and you got to get a lot more, what's the word that I'm looking for? Descriptive. You got to change things a little bit, right? You got to use some certain images or whatever, but just automatically generating the images themselves. Companies are starting to get in trouble. And this is one of the reasons Disney and other companies are trying to set a precedent, and they're trying to look for certain companies to use as an example so that you don't go out there and you don't infringe on their copyright. Music companies are doing it. Elected officials are doing it. Very successful people, visible people, really big visible people are doing it. Movie houses, content houses, all of that. They are trying to control what can and can't be generated using AI. And so now that is the new front. That is the new front that's going to be fought in the courts. And Disney is leading the war against some of these companies that are generating images that you're starting to see pop up on TikTok, that you're starting to see pop up on YouTube. They're not having it.
Disney and NBCU saying they asked Midjourney to stop infringing on their copyrighted works and that Midjourney ignored their requests. Now, this is the most high-profile legal action we've seen an entertainment company take to protect its IP. Disney saying, quote, our world-class IP is built on decades of financial investment, creativity, and innovation. Investments only made possible by the incentives embodied in copyright law that give creators the exclusive right to profit from their works, saying we are bullish on the promise of AI technology and optimistic about how it can be used responsibly as a tool to further human creativity. But piracy is piracy, and the fact that it's done by an AI company does not make it any less infringing. So we're going to have to see how Midjourney responds. We're reaching out to them now, but this suit could set a key precedent for AI companies and entertainment companies going forward.
So essentially what you're seeing is, again, this is the new frontier. This is going to be the new lawsuits. This is going to be the new fight. This is going to be the new technology. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but again, I'm advocating for you guys to get ahead of it instead of being some of the people that's being forced to adopt it because you don't have any choice except but to accept it. All right.